morning. My name is Jason. Today we're going to showcase a electronic inspection on this vehicle behind me. I do these electronic inspections every time that a vehicle is brought into my bay. It's an opportunity for me to have electronic documentation of where the vehicle stands regarding each individual component in these subsystems. It's a way for me to communicate with the customer, show and tell the parts of the vehicle that are good, bad, and hopefully not so ugly. The reason that these inspections are important is it gives the owner of the vehicle an opportunity to have a little bit of peace of mind on the safety being number one, number two, the reliability, functionality of the vehicle, give them an opportunity to feel comfortable it's going to start every morning, that they need to get somewhere. I utilize this iPad to do so because I can take pictures and associate it with the determination of each individual component. I like this better than the carbon copy repair order that the greasy, fat mechanic used to hand out every time that you brought your car to the garage that was dark and dingy. I don't want to continue that process of the unknown. I would prefer to have a clear device of communication with every vehicle owner. That's what they pay me for. So let's stop farting around with all this useless talk and get started. I'm going to do some disassembly underneath this hood, and we will take some pictures. Volvo, they happen to flush their power steering fluid a lot more often for various reasons. So we have completed the fluid condition testing and inspection. The last thing that I'll do before we start going up with the vehicle is look at the Carfax, because everybody wants to know exactly what this service history is. So I pull a Carfax on every vehicle. Not everybody reports to Carfax. I happen to be one of them. But if somebody does their oil changes at home or under a shady tree by the shady tree mechanic, he may not report to Carfax and thus not have that service history. This particular gentleman does, because he only brings it to me. So I have all his service history both internally as well as Carfax. Next, I'm going to focus my energy on the tires, the rubber on the car, the skins, as they say. We need to identify A, that it has enough air in it, all four, and then B, that the tread is sufficient as well as wearing evenly from a flat perspective. Checking the alignment is the term that's used in the industry. So the first thing I do with a dial indicator gauge, I will put it up against or rest it upon the tread depth bar that's on the tire in order to get an accurate measurement. So I have my gauge set up. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of that result. The next thing I need to do is do the same on the back of the vehicle. So I'm going to take this gauge and measure it on the back. I've got both of my results. Now I'm going to test the air pressure in the tires. I've identified what the air pressure should be, the specified amount by the manufacturer. It's 30. This one's at 30. I'll leave that one alone. And then I'm going to test the back tire pressure too. Now I'm ready to continue to go up with the vehicle. Get it in the air. Test what we need to test underneath. The next portion of this, I'm going to take pictures of the brake pads and how much wear or lack of wear they have left in them. So I'm getting a visual of the brake pad without taking off the wheel. So I'm going to take a picture of that. Got that picture. The next thing is the shocks, or the strut in this case, which I'm looking to make sure that it doesn't have any leakage coming out. So there's my picture of that. I will also be putting a pry bar on the various joints to make sure that they are tight and not abnormally loose, meaning indicating that they are worn. Here's the CV boot. Here's the tie rod, which is over on this side. So there's a picture of the tie rod. Boot looks like it's in good shape. Now I'm going to get the sway bar link, which is right here. We will also test that to make sure there's no abnormal looseness. A picture of that. The ball joint, in this case, looks like right there. So the next thing we're going to look at is suspension bushings. A little bit difficult to see on the camera, but we're going to get that angle here. So what I'm doing is shedding a little bit of light on my photo. There we go. A little bit of superficial cracking, but nothing to write home about. Drivetrain mounts. So what I look at in this particular section is the mounts of this vehicle to see that there's no cracking. Great shape. And then lastly is the leaks. Got a bit of a small leak going on right here. I'll document it as just a small seeper. Nothing again to concern ourselves with. Last picture I'll take of the exhaust system in its entirety. Try to get as much of that in the frame as possible. It's all in good shape. Just want to document that it is in fact in good shape. And that's the end of the inspection. We've taken a picture of all that we need to take pictures of. We're going to bust out this oil change and tire rotation that this vehicle needs super quick. I'm going to get it done without a lot of commentary because if you're like me, you're already tired of hearing me talk. Today we're going to be doing the test drive interior inspection of our electronic inspection. So we're going to begin by going around the block in the customer vehicle and take the time to go through some of its accessories on the interior, verifying that they work without any glitches and that the vehicle drives down the road safely without any concerns. Well, let's get started. So this being a manual car, I will look at where the clutch on the pedal engages and disengages to verify that the clutch is in good shape and that there's no adjustment or concerns that we need to pay attention to. I'm also got a thermometer in the heat vent, and I'm currently testing the accuracy of the heating and cooling. I want to look at the alignment on a road that doesn't have so much crown and verify that it in fact drives down the road safe, doesn't pull or drag or drift to one side or the other. I'm also looking for shift engagement, synchros inside the transmission. Don't get hung up or grind. Any noise concerns on this being a manual transmission. Once I get back to the shop, I will pull in and use my automatic garage door opener, which happens to be me. I'm going to do the interior portion of this electronic inspection. So we'll start with the interior functionality of the components right here in the middle of the dash. So I'm looking at functionality of the radio. I'm also going to look at the vent temp from the HVAC system. So I'm getting an accurate reading at the center vent temp. That's what I wanted. Now I'm going to get a picture of the windshield, making sure that there's no chips or cracks. This particular windshield is near new, no problems. And then I'll look at the washers, operating the wipers and making sure that the wipers don't streak as they're operating. So I got the picture of those, and then I'll get a picture of the actual washers themselves, looking at the spray pattern, verifying that the spray pattern is accurately hitting all points of the windshield. And then lastly, I will get a picture of the visibility from the rear view mirror for the vehicle owner, making sure there's nothing obstructing or discoloration in the rear view mirror. We'll get a picture of the oil change sticker and parking brake operation. Make sure that it's holding the vehicle and not allowing it to roll, and then the alignment, how it was as I was driving the vehicle on its test drive. And then I will swing back and get my picture of the air conditioning now that it's had an opportunity to cool that vent temp. And that's it. That'll conclude the interior portion.